Yeah, I know. Another non-Prelude video on a Prelude channel.
This guy is unfucking believable.
Beater's getting an engine swap. This thing has 300,000 miles on it. Still runs great, but well, I don't have time to maintain all my cars, to be honest. So what's gonna happen is the black car, the H22 swap, the H22 is coming out. I'm gonna put it in this. The black car will also have it. I'm just gonna use it for R&Ding things. I'm not really gonna drive it. Just R&Ding stuff. But this is just one of my daily beaters. This in the CRV. So with H22, I'm gonna change it back to stock and get rid of or remove the cams, springs, retainers, head studs. I think this all had really cam gears. Yeah, it's just gonna be stock H22, stock ECU. There should be plenty for this.
The transmission is an M2B4 factory LSD trans, and I lied about everything being stock. Actually, this trans, I bought some carbon 3, 4, and 5th synchros a long time ago, never installed them, so I'm going to install those. And I'm also putting the 5th gear from the Accord trans into this, so my RPMs aren't as high when I'm just cruising. The 5th gear in the Prelude trans is physically slightly shorter than the Accord 5th gear, so I'll have to take the Accord 5th gear to like a machine shop and have it surface ground to match the Prelude 5th gear. I also lied about the engine being totally stock. I couldn't find a factory header, or at least for a reasonable price, so I bought the cheapest one on eBay, the Megan header, and of course it doesn't fit right, so that'll take a little bit of work. I also have an old B21 header heat shield. I'm going to try to make it fit, but I'm not quite sure it's going to work out. As for the actual swap, you just bolt the Accord mounts onto the Prelude engine and transmission, and it drops right in. Uses the same stock axles, and it doesn't actually require any aftermarket parts at all.
One thing to bolt the Accord mount to the Prelude trans, you gotta drill and tab these two holes because the Accord mount uses different holes. other than that, it bolts on. For the wiring harness, I'm just going to adapt the F-Series harness to this. I think all I need to add is VTEC wire and a knock sensor. One other thing I need to do, what I'm planning on doing, is this is an internal coil distributor. I want to switch to external. So all I need to do is take the guts out of the F-Series distributor and put it inside this one. For AC, I'm just gonna remove this Prelude bracket, use the F-Series bracket here, and I'll just be able to stick the current compressor on there. I believe I'm gonna swap out the crank pulley with the F-Series due to the belt. I think the belt size will be different if I try to keep the Prelude one. I did replace the timing belt because a lot of people don't know this. You have mileage limit on your time belt and time limit. So the time belt that was on here it only had like 10,000 miles, but I installed it in like 2010, I think. So it was actually pretty old. You know, the rubber can go bad on that stuff, so I'm just sticking a new timing belt on it. Otherwise, I didn't really have to do anything other than put the stock parts back in. Alright, it's ready to drop in. The cord harness is mostly okay on the lengths. I kind of don't like this area. Don't really have a good way to secure it. But I'll come up with some kind of bracket at some point. Yeah, so I gotta find the proper plastic cover for this wiring. Injectors. I have to put the cord water neck on here because it has a sensor here. Put all the F-Series internals into the Prelude distributor. And for this sensor, I had to undo part of the harness to get the right length because it used to on the cord attaches over here. As far as the knock sensor and the VTEC, I'm just running this. I just made some new connectors, pinned some new connectors, and ran it up here, and it just happens that the cord plug had 2 blank spots, so I just added some new wires in from. I pulled off another harness. So it'll all plug in just like stock, or it should. is. Just took it for a drive to get some gas. It's working great. You can see the B21 heat shield idea didn't work, so I just got some of this stuff. One thing I haven't wired up yet is the intake air bypass valve. I don't have one from a 4th gen Prelude. I'm gonna see if the if one from a 3rd gen Prelude will work. I gotta check the wiring diagram. I'm pretty sure I have some of those kicking around. But I did run the wiring for it, so I'm just gonna basically mount the valve. Yeah, with that Accord 5th gear, the RPMs are nice and low. Got like 70, so that's nice. That's one thing that was annoying about the Prelude trends. One thing the guy didn't say anything about is the throttle bracket. Using these original holes, it was too far to the side here, and there's no adjustment range, so I just basically drilled the new holes to move it over. The annoying thing was I had the Accord feed hose was too small for this fitting, so I had to swap to this larger hose. It made a huge mess doing it. Yeah, 3rd gen IAV valve worked